Welcome to Rick and Rob. We have Scott Kenemore, author of ZEO, The Zen of the Zombie, Zombie Ohio, and some other great books. How you doing, Scott?
I'm well. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty good. Yeah, so we'll just dive right into the interview here. What first sparked your interest in zombies, and how did that lead to your books?
Well, I've always liked zombies. Growing up, my favorite writer, maybe still my favorite writer, is a horror guy called H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay,
And
that sounds familiar.
yeah, he never wrote about like brain-eating zombies because he's from the 20s, and Romero kind of invented modern ravenous corpses in '68. But
Yeah.
All his stories are really influenced by like Haitian voodoo zombies and like cult rituals, and so I was really intrigued by that. And then when I was in college, my friends got me into Romero films, and particularly Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, were just so like haunting and influential that
Yeah.
it was sort of a love affair ever since I was a freshman in college, probably.
Okay, so yeah, Lovecraft. He like you said, he writes the voodoo kind of zombies. Like, have you seen White Zombie or? Yeah,
I think I've seen every zombie movie there is because people always give them to me and ask me about them, so like I got to keep up on the new stuff.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned. I didn't even really think about the original Zombie, but at Kent State we actually provide a class called Zombies in Film and Television, which I took last semester. So
That's awesome.
we started off with the classics and worked our way to Romero age, and then I think we ended on Zombieland being the definitive like pinnacle of the modern zombie movie.
Okay, it's a good choice. Lots of evidence for that.
Yeah, but have you just always been kind of interested in writing? Like, why did you choose zombies to write about?
Funny story. I liked writing. I went to Kenyon College because they had a strong writing program. I wanted to be a writer, and then I went to Columbia in New York for a writing MFA.
Right.
And I had lots of success. I could get stories published and articles published, but I really wanted to get a book out, and I wrote many novels in different genres, never really a horror, and just like feel like I would get very close, and I had an agent, we're gonna have lunch with Random House, but like it always fell through. And then I was living in Chicago, moved to Chicago, and I was talking to a friend of mine in publishing who was coming through town. He was like, Kenemore, like, you love zombies. You're always talking about zombies. Like, why don't you try writing something about zombies? And I was like, well, I've never thought about that. I do love zombies. So I sort of went out and read, I'm not going to name names, but I read like the biggest best-selling zombie books that were out around 2006, and I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Jesus, like this is what I could do so much better than this, and I had faith in myself, and so I whipped up a outline and sample chapter for the Zen of Zombie, as you do, and I had an offer from a publisher in the time it normally takes my agent to return an email.
Wow.
Just like instantly. And it's been a great relationship ever since. I love writing about zombies, using them for humor, and also using them to tell stories.
Yeah.
Like in novels. So, it's all good, as they say.
Yeah, they definitely provide a very interesting genre, and we even recently, we like you have your zombie blog on WordPress.com. And we're trying to start a YouTube page called That Zombie Blog. So I think that they offer a very cool subculture that people can get into. I think it's always
no question
something very
marketable. It's almost like not a sub anymore. Like this coming weekend, I'm going to 2 different zombie conventions.
Oh wow!
But one of them in Seattle is called ZombieCon, and it is just enormous now.
Oh, is it?
It's so many people. And new ones are starting. The other one I'm doing is called Aliens to Zombies, and it's in Los Angeles, but it's already got ton of buzz. Ton of people are excited. It's the first year of it, so
I like that it covers A to Z.
Exactly.
But, so unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to check out some of your books yet. So could you tell me what they're all about, kind of? Because it sort of feels like it's a social commentary, and Romero kind of popularized that connection with zombies and people. So, what are the books all about anyway?
Well, the humor books, which are the books I wrote first, like Zen of Zombie, they're sort of absurdist humor about zombies, but they come from a kernel of truth, which is if you look at the monster world, like werewolves and vampires and mummies and all these other creatures, zombies are about the worst of all. They're the most handicapped.
Yeah.
They can't talk. They can't read. They can't communicate. They don't work together very well. And yet they always find a way of kicking your ass. They always find a way of winning despite these tremendous handicaps. So my first book, The Zen of Zombie, was about sort of let's stop and look at this position, which might seem counterintuitive, which is that actually, though we make fun of zombies and you know we slander them, I feel like such a zombie today, they're actually the awesomest and best thing to model yourself after if you want to find success. And I sort of wrote it from the tone of, you know, and also you're a fool if you don't believe this a priori. And it really seemed to connect with people. So I wrote several other zombie humor books like that, exploring different aspects of like zombiedom. And then early, I guess I had 2 books come out this year. They're both novels. Zombie Ohio is set in Ohio, where you guys are, in Knox County, a real county. And it's about a college professor at a small college who dies during a zombie outbreak. He's in a car accident, and he wakes up as a zombie, but he's a highly intelligent zombie. And I sort of got interested in that because you talk about zombies as a virus, and you read about those people, how like 1 out of every 100,000 people who get HIV, right? They never get sick. They never get AIDS. Now they have HIV and they can give it to other people, but they just, for whatever reason, 1 in 100,000 won't get sick. So I like the idea of what if 1 in every 100,000 zombies is, you know, very dumb by human standard and has no memory of his life, but is very smart. By zombie, he can still reason, he can still talk.
Oh, wow.
So my zombie walks around this college town, realizes eventually he's a zombie, realizes an outbreak is going on, and then he learns that the brake lines on his car were cut, and that's why he died. So he realized, I was murdered, so I've got to figure out who killed me, and why. What did I do that I was the kind of guy that people wanted to kill? So he's sort of got this mystery to solve. And then the most recent book that came out just a couple months ago is sort of a combination of my like humor books and the novel. It's an epistolary novel. It's called Zombies versus Nazis. And it's written from the point of view of 3 Nazi scientists who go to Haiti to study zombies because they like the idea that they could raise an army of the dead to fight for Hitler in World War II. And things don't go well. They go really, really bad for the Nazis.
Yeah, and the Nazi zombie thing, ever since Call of Duty, has been a pretty, it's been pretty popular, I guess you'd say. So
yeah, absolutely.
But these books honestly sound, very insightful because there isn't really, zombies always get a little bit of a twist on them. I don't think there's a definitive example of what they are. They kind of change. But at the same time, I feel like this would be something cool to look into, just to give an idea of how they represent people. And then
it totally is.
And even there's a scientific aspect to Zombie Ohio with the guy, the HIV thing, the 1 in 100,000 or whatever. And it's not like BS, I feel like that's reasonable, because I actually wanted to get your opinion on a zombie. Like, what I always find is, say you're watching a movie or a TV show and the zombie looks like it's inspecting something almost, and does that put you off? Like, I know in the recent Dawn of the Dead or the Walking Dead episode, the girl made a noise and the zombie starts looking at the door, like. So, but I thought, or in Zombie Land, the girl in his apartment, she like tilts her head like she's waiting for the right moment to strike at Jesse Eisenberg. So I don't know. I mean, do you think a zombie would do that, or do you think they should just be completely void of emotion and that's a fault of the director?